everyone. This is Wilson Cole. I'm president of Adams, Evans & Ross and Backdoor Hiring Solutions. And I want to take a moment to visit with you guys about some of the things that we've learned running a family business. And, a lot of times you guys are used to hearing me talk about credit risk and backdoor hires and how to enforce judgments and things along those lines. But I want to take a half a second to visit on the other side of that equation, because I know a lot of clients are also running family businesses. I may be a generation or a half generation up from some of the others, but they plan on bringing their children into the business. And I can tell you, we have brought all of our children into the business at different times, and they were always exposed to the company from a very early age. We used to laugh. We didn't take vacations like normal people. We would take vacations closest to whatever conference that had a good venue. So if it was down in Disney, by gosh, that's where we went on vacation. If it was in Vegas, well, lo and behold, the kids got to go to Vegas and so on. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are the same ways. But it's been one of the things that has kept me more energized than anything else was building out this company, not only for our clients, but also bringing in our children to manage different departments and develop and things on those lines. A lot of you are very familiar with Samantha Vincent, which is one of our staff attorneys. She's our GC, and eventually she'll be sitting here at my desk. Samantha has been with us for 10 years as an attorney, and with all of the other daughters that would go off on those vacations, they'd be out at the pool, they were in college, drinking Mai Tais or whatever. Samantha was always in the trade show booth looking at contracts, which just never made sense to me, but now that she's our attorney, maybe it does. But all of the children brought their own skill set and their own viewpoints, and they all made the company a better place. Some children got into the company and realized, gee, working for a family business, as fun as that may sound, it just wasn't a good fit for them. And so we had to have it to where they could very easily, if it's not working for you, understand that life is too short not to be happy. And the children that didn't come into the business wound up flourishing in amazing industries and careers of their own. The ones that did come into the company, we made sure that they had their own area of influence. And now we also wanted to make sure that they had the skill set and that there was a free flow of information back and forth. A lot of times, as the patriarchs of company and matriarchs of company, we've done this so long, we know the business. Well, sometimes you may know the business on how to deal with your generation and up, but sometimes the generation behind you may have different experiences. They're also going to have different communication skills. And quite frankly, it's made us much better. Also, just from a humanistic standpoint, they're going to have a skill set. Anybody that knows me knows that if you need to go play golf, I'm probably your guy. If you want to reduce your credit risk, I can certainly walk you through that. And I certainly understand the collection process and things along those lines. But highly detailed is not going to be where I'm going to be the best use for the company. Where Samantha is so much more detailed than I am, and if we have one to where for whatever reason it's a better fit for me to make the argument with the debtor's attorney or with the debtor, a lot of times I'll have her look over the paperwork after I've looked at it, say, what are your points on this? Because her attention to detail, she'll glean something from it that maybe I had overlooked, or she may look at it from a legal perspective to where I'm looking at it from a risk management and business perspective, and there's a fusion there. That's how we worked it out 10 years down the road with she and I glued at the hip. But that pattern with other companies and folks that I have known through this past 3.5 decade trip, that's how they've structured it as well. And so make sure that they have their own autonomy, make sure they have their own sandbox, make sure that the communication is open back and forth. And there's a level of professional trust that does develop. It's not there, or at least it wasn't for me day one, because I wanted to make sure that the clients were taken care of. But over the months and years that followed, there's a professional trust that develops between a child and a sibling and things on those lines that you're not going to have elsewhere, and it's a shared experience. And I can honestly say, one of the biggest reasons we didn't opt to sell with a very huge offer, at least in my skill set, back about a year ago, was that I had children in the business and I'm still having way too much fun. And it's also forced us to be a much better company. And we certainly love to work with you. We're a commercial collection agency with a global presence, but our focus is on U.S. debt. So if you're in the U.S., we can help you. If you're debtors, if you're in the U.K., if you're in India, if you're in Canada, we can help you. If your clients are here in the U.S., we can certainly help you get that collected. If you want to find backdoor hires, certainly we can do that globally for you as well. Visit our website at staffingdebt.com and book an appointment with me, one of our staff attorneys or credit and collection consultants. If you want a free demo of our software, go to backdoorhires.com.